welcome to Civilian Jeeps. I'm Jake, and today we're in Horse Creek because I've got a cool episode for you guys. It's a vintage 4x4 ride up Horse Creek and into the mountains. Now, this is not extreme, this is just a moderate type trail, so nothing too out of the ordinary. I got Postal Jeep going postal behind me, and we're going to go up with these vintage rigs here to the top of the mountain, so stay tuned. Let's get right to it. So far, I'm the only Jeep in this lineup. There's my Postal Jeep DJ5. There's an old Bronco. Love the patina and the paint scheme on it. Here's a baby blue Bronco. Man, that is nice. I love the baby blue with the white top on this Bronco. I would assume these are probably 70 models, but forgive me, I'm not as well versed in old vintage Broncos and internationals like you're about to see. There's a baby blue Bronco. There's another Bronco. This one's really cool. It's got a half cab on it. See the roll bar. Beadlock tire in the bed of it. Now here's a GMC custom K10. I assume it's probably 35 1250s.
Yeah, this is.
Wow. I really like that K10. I've always had a soft spot for K10s. And this is Jeff. This is who puts the event on.
Yeah.
He's the man that coordinates all this. Jeff, what's your YouTube channel?
Vintage Overlanding.
Vintage Overlanding.
We drove this thing out of Alaska.
Dang.
All across country.
And you were saying this is an International Scout 880?
800.
800, okay.
International Scout 800. Stock. I do have an overdrive, so I can hold about 65 on the interstate.
And you do tow your little teardrop with it, right?
I towed the teardrop with it. We just cruise along.
In a 4-cylinder. That's impressive.
Yeah. Mine's the Slant 4. We got into a little mud yesterday.
Yeah. On Bumpus.
Great.
Yep.
And this is my
burrito cooker.
My burrito cooker. My hot dogger.
Yep. There you go.
Heat us up some food occasionally.
Oh, look at all the room for big engines.
Oh, yeah.
They made these with V8s.
Definitely looking forward to this ride, heading up Horse Creek. It's nice and rainy, so it should be slick. There's also some creeks that we have to cross, and there's a rock ledge up at the top, but nothing really too serious. Nothing that the Postal Jeep can't handle as long as it stays in one piece, that is.
The white Scout. Snowball, what I call it. I think it's pretty stout. It looks meaner than what it is. I need bigger.
Here's another International. I assume this is probably 33s. Might be 35s. They're pretty big. I think it's 35. Nope, 33 1250. So let's go ahead and head up the mountain. Well, we're officially on the trail. JP, my neighbor, is with me. And we've come to our first little water crossing. It's not much of anything, but I did want to show you guys some of the water crossings here at Horse Creek. So Horse Creek Park Trail is about a 4 to 5 mile trail if memory serves me correctly. This trail is close to my house, so I've been on it multiple times. This one is about a 2,000 foot elevation gain, nothing serious. At the top I think there's a little obstacle, but it's more than a Forest Service road, but it's less than like Windrock. If this was a Windrock, I would say it would be like a blue. It's definitely a moderate type trail. But as you see, we're about to come up on another creek crossing. This is creek crossing number 2. I believe there's about 6 or 7 creek crossings, and this one is not that big. It used to have a big rock right in the middle of it, which made it a little challenging. The rock is not there anymore though, and so this creek crossing really isn't that challenging at all. One thing about Horse Creek that a lot of people might not know about is once a year they do a thing on the graves. It's called the unmarked graves or the unnamed graves. It's at the top of Horse Creek and they're old Civil War graves. And there's a group on horse that go early in the morning. There's also like a 4-wheel drive 4x4 group that go a little later on in the afternoon and they decorate those graves. I can't remember the exact date that this happens. It's been going on every year that I can remember. I live in this county, so I don't know when it's going to be this year, but it's something I feel like you should be able to look up online if you're interested in it. But just keep in mind that this is the top trail to get to the graves, and it's kind of tight and a little overgrown and very bumpy. Horse Creek is basically like a dried creek bed almost. It's just a lot of rocks, a lot of bumps, and when you're on leaf springs, it's not so fun, to be honest with you. But I wish I was on cools or something of that nature. But hey, when you're in a vintage 4x4 like this, this one rides really well to be vintage. So I count my blessings and can't complain too much, honestly. So far, everybody's doing really well in their vintage rigs here. Little bit of mud. I have no flares on this thing, so the Postal Jeep actually has a fair amount of mud on the side of it. All the gauges, everything's looking good. Really proud of this thing so far. No overheating, knock on wood. I mean, everything just seems to be super smooth. I'm glad I have a top on it. I almost kind of wish I had some doors because I'm getting absolutely smacked in the face by some leaves. But that's just part of the experience of it, I guess. Now, some of these rigs range from anywhere. I honestly think Jeff might have 31s, maybe even 29-inch tires, or 30, right around in there. So he's got some smaller tires. I think he's the smallest in the group. And then all the way up to, I believe, like my size 37s. I think some of the Broncos have 37s, which is making pretty easy work of this. But it just jolts you around like crazy on this trail. But I am pretty impressed with these International Scouts. I mean, those things are absolute tanks. And like, I've been following behind some of them and they just go. They seem to be doing really well, and I'm surprised you don't see more International Scouts than what you do on the road, because they are a really cool vintage ride. JP, what do you think of your experience so far?
I think this is a pretty neat experience. A bit rocky, but so far everybody's making it through, and we're just here to have a good time and see what this trail is all about.
I don't know if you'll be able to see in the distance up there, but that's Jeff and his Scout, and we come to one of the first switchbacks. Now the Scouts are pretty long, and I assume the K10, K20 style truck will have to do a multi-point turn as well. But these Scouts are going to have to really finesse some of these turns to get up this switchback right here. As you can see, there's one right in front of me. Let's see what he does. He just went over a pretty decent sized rock for his, I think 31-inch tires. So let's see if he might be able to do it one turn. Yep, he just did it one turn. That is one thing that I'm happy about with the Postal Jeep, is how I can just easily turn. Well, we made it to an area where we're going to stop, stretch our legs, take a break from the clutch pedal for those of us that are driving sticks. Got the 3 Internationals up there, and then we got the Postal Jeep. Postal Jeep's doing pretty well. Thankfully, it's fuel injected. Don't really have to worry about steep grades or anything. This really cool Bronco again that's been following behind me. I absolutely love this Bronco and the patina that it has. Let's look in here. Oh yeah, Tuffy center console, GMRS radio, twin stick, nice stick shift manual, full cage in it on 37s and beadlocks. We're coming up to another switchback in the trail. Looks like some of the Internationals have already done it. Here's another International. He done it just fine. Oh yeah, no problem. Let's see the Scout here, or the Traveler, I mean. See what's going on. I think they got a back down. Might be having issues with how muddy it is. Yep. Just sitting there spinning. Let's see if he's able to. Oh yeah, he's got it. Alright. Well, no, he don't have it. Now, how in the world did Jeff make it up it?
You got to, I have no idea. He weighs about half as much.
What can I do to help you?
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna run some cable out to get myself up out of here.
Okay. Well, we're having to winch it up here. It's really slick, and that's not going to be good for the rest of us coming through, especially with this drop off right here. Probably don't look like much on camera, but that is a very steep drop off down in the cliff. So he's going to go ahead and winch it up and try not to rut it out more than it already is, to kind of save grace for the rest of us. But the rest of us are back through there waiting. Let's see how this winch recovery goes. So we're back here and we're standing clear of the winch line. Never want to be really close to a cable line, especially one that don't have a winch blanket on it, just in case it was to snap. If it snaps, then and it hits you, you're pretty much dead. It'll cut you in half. So just always make sure that you have proper winch training and safety.
Yeah, we were sliding towards the edge, man.
I gotta put my scotch down. That,
Okay, Diddy, no problem.
Let's see if the elder statesman makes it too. Yeah, I mean, I was like, yeah. Everybody has to get so good. We gotta, I guess we'll grab it.
man, this trail's just riddled with poison.
Yeah.
Woo! Close to that tree. we have made it to the top of Horse Creek Trail. Whenever you get here, there's this area where you can turn around. This is pretty much the end. Like I was mentioning earlier, you know, the graves of the unknown soldiers, you go up through there, but the gate's locked. That also leads to the Appalachian Trail. So this is the unofficial end to Horse Creek. But Postal Jeep did well and got a little hot, got like 215, but that's not bad at all, considering it's got an electric fan and just the amount of crawling that you have to do to get up some of the steep stuff here. And the Broncos I'm extremely impressed with. I really like the Broncos. They attempted the ledge. One actually made it, the brown one. The green one, I think they probably could have if they just chose a little bit different line. But it's really slick right now, so I know the Postal Jeep won't do it because it's so slick. So I didn't even attempt it. The international travelers are over here, and they're doing pretty well. He did have to winch once. I got that on camera, and it's running a little hot, so he's letting it cool off at the moment. And then the other traveler over there, I think, is a little hot, so they're cooling it off. And then Jeff is doing a little bit of a drone footage. And then we got the Bronco over here. This is the one that made it up the ledge on those Allied beadlocks. And then Baby Blue Bronco. And then Jeff's International Scout. Everybody looks to be doing really well, though. Jeff here is on, I believe, 20. Let's see what he's on. I am curious because, I mean, you don't have to have a huge rig to come do stuff like this. 225, 75, 15. So if you got that or bigger, you can do this trail. And then the K10 here was able to do the ledge. It really, big advantage with the wheelbase. They ended up not getting stuck like a lot of the other people did trying to do the ledge. I know the Postal Jeep just sits right down in it, and it actually is bigger than what it looks like on the camera. I'll show you guys and try to get an accurate representation of this ledge. I mean, it's not anything extreme, it's just placed perfectly. And see there, I mean, pretty decent sized rock. I would say 2 foot 24 inches, and then it goes up to another probably 20 to 24 inch ledge. So, and it's extremely wet and muddy. That's it helps with not breaking anything because your tires just spin. They don't grab and lock up and snap something, but you also don't get traction. But when you get to the top of Horse Creek, this is the overview. You take a right here on this little trail, and then it goes over and overlooks Greene County and eastern Tennessee. Now, we're actually close to the western North Carolina border. Greene County actually sits on the border, but I want to show you guys what to look for whenever you come do this trail. Make sure you come out to this rock and this nice overview. This is similar if you've been to Blackstack Cliffs up at Viking Mountain. This is a similar view, except those cliffs are a little bit bigger. Well, we're on our way back down from Horse Creek. We summited, so we're taking the trail back down. It is a one-way in, one-way out trail, even though that guy in Onyx can show that you go through, but you really can't go through. Just trust me, from somebody that's done the trail, you can't go all the way through. Now, as you can see, there's that International, the 800 series. Jeff, he's in front of me right now, and I got that Bronco behind me. This one's the brown one instead of the green one that is usually behind me. And we're making our way down. We've been on the trail, I think, for about 3 hours now. There's been a lot of stop and go for filming, that sort of thing. So if you really were to do this trail, like go up and then you go straight back, I would think 2.5 hours is what you should spend if you're in a vehicle. If you're in a side-by-side, you can do it probably in 45 minutes because those things absolutely fly. But so anyway, we're just gonna head on down the trail, take it nice and easy. I suspect we'll go about the same pace as going up, honestly. International, making 2-point turn here. Some of these turns are kind of tight. I believe I've already mentioned that. I believe the Postal Jeep will do all right, unless my locker. I got Yukon Grizzlies, and sometimes they lock up. They want to send me straight instead of turning, so I believe I can do it in a one-turn situation, though. It's gonna be close. We're close to the edge, but yeah, doing a single turn. Here's some of the Broncos coming down. They should be able to do it in a one turn as well. Yep, they did. So on this trail, you're gonna have some pretty tight areas with pretty tight vegetation that could come through the window. I don't have any windows, so JP here was gloating about how he hadn't been smacked in the face yet. And right after he said that, a big branch just welted him upside the head. How you feel about that, JP?
Oh, it stings. It felt like getting a full-blown slap to the face, not gonna lie. It stings.
Don't even have a girlfriend, you're still getting slapped.
Yep. By nature itself.
I do want to give a big thanks to Midland Radios. They hooked me up with a GMRS radio about, I don't know, 8 months ago or so. No, actually over a year. Over a year ago, they hooked me up with their MXT 575, and it's a 50-mile radio. A little overkill for this Jeep and for this trail, but as you can see it down there, that's where it resides on the dash, and it works perfect. Really nice to be able to communicate with everybody with this GMRS radio. And if you have a handheld GMRS, you can actually use them as well on lower channels. So I really appreciate Midland for sending that out and kind of like helping out with the channel. And I did a video on this 575 compared to the one I had in my LJ, which is the 275. And make sure you go back in my videos and check that out if you're interested. Well, we've now been on the trail for 4.5 hours and we're wrapping it up. That's pretty much a wrap of Horse Creek. We definitely could have done it a little quicker if we weren't filming. But overall, it's been a great experience. Really enjoyed it. What did you think of it, JP?
I think it was a really pleasant experience. I'm really glad that I was able to have the opportunity to ride along and check out this trail for myself. I can't thank him and the group enough for having me a part of this journey.
All right, you heard it straight from JP. Now, we're gonna get a little post report from the trail, see how everybody's rigs look, make sure nobody has any problems. So everybody made it off the trail. I've been calling this thing the K10, and it is the Chevy version of the K10. This is the GMC Sierra 1500. He made it off the trail. The International Scout 800 series made it off, and then there's gone Postal there. A little bit of mud on the side of it. And then we got the Bronco again, and the baby blue Bronco, 70s models. Then the International Traveler, another International Traveler, and another Bronco. Everybody made it off Horse Creek. Well, that's a wrap for this video and the Horse Creek trail ride with the vintage antique 4x4s. Hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know down in the comments below, and when it comes to Jeeps, keep it classic.